we are discussing about the types of the ovules. In the last video, we discussed regarding the first type of the ovule, that is called the orthotropous. So the types of ovules is mainly based on the point, that is orientation of the body of the ovule on the funicle. That means funicle is standard and body of the ovule that rotates. Through how many degrees it rotates, based on that the ovules are classified into different categories. In the first case, orthotropous, body of the ovule that do not rotate, that stands in its original position. That means it is a straight. Micropyle, chalaza and funicle, they lie in the same plane. So that is the reason why this is called as the straight ovule. Orientation is absent, so it is called as atropous. So that is the first type of ovule, that is the primitive type of ovule that is found in case of gymnosperms. And second category, that is called as anatropous. That is called as the anatropous ovules, and anatropous ovule is also called as inverted. That is also called as inverted. What is the meaning of inverted? Suppose if a pen is like this, if it rotates like this, then that is called inverted. So here in the first position, body of the ovule is like this, it is straight. But in the second condition, body of the ovule that rotates in this way. That means it is completely in the reverse position. So this type of ovule is also called as inverted ovule. Inverted ovule. And the presence of anatropous ovule is an advanced character. So that is found in case of angiosperms. So gymnosperms and angiosperms are the only two groups of plants where you can find the presence of these ovules. And out of these two groups, gymnosperms are the primitive plants and angiosperms are the advanced plants. So in case of gymnosperms, you can find this orthotropous ovule, and in case of angiosperms, we find the anatropous ovules. So anatropous means they are also called inverted ovule. That means the body of the ovule is inverted. How the diagram appears like this? See, this is the body of the ovule, and this is the micropyle. So you see, stalk of the ovule, this is the funicle that remains in the same position. But what about the body of the ovule? In the first position, micropyle is present in the upper pole and chalaza is present in the lower pole. But here, this is the micropyle. That means micropyle is downwards and chalaza, that is in the upward direction. That means that is rotated, that is inverted completely. So it is also called as inverted ovule. So, in how many degrees orientation of the body of the ovule takes place? That is the question. See, suppose if it is the circle, you are starting from here. Suppose if you reach here, this is 90 degrees and this is 180 degrees and this is 270 degrees. And this is 360 degrees. 360. That means a complete rotation. Suppose it starts from here, and if it is passing through all these stages and again reach the same point, original point, then one complete rotation. That is 360 degrees. And suppose if it comes up to here, that is 90 degrees, this is 180 degrees and this is 270 degrees. That means this diagram that can be compared with a wall clock. Suppose if you take the wall clock, here 12 is there, if here 3, next here 6 and here it is 9. Suppose if long hand of the clock that reach 3, then automatically that covers 90 degrees. Suppose if it reach 6, that covers 180 degrees. If it reach 9, that covers 270 degrees. Suppose the long hand, it starts from here, and again if it is passing through all these steps, and if it reach again here, that means one rotation is completed, that is 360 degrees. So in this case, what happens is, in the first position, the microbial is present here. That means microbial is present here. Now, what is the position of microbial? That rotates and reach here. That means the microbial is present at this place. And chalaza is present at this place. So that means how many degrees it covers? It is 180 degrees. So this anatropous ovule is also called as 180 degrees ovule. That is also called as 180 degrees ovule, or because it is inverted. So that is also called as inverted ovule. And the presence of this anatropous ovule is an advanced character, so that there is present in case of angiosperms. That is present in angiosperms. So that is the second type of ovule. And if you observe the third type, that is called as hemianatropous. Hemianatropous. So this hemianatropous ovule is found in a family that is called Ranunculaceae. Ranunculus is one of the examples that is found in this family, where you can find the presence of hemianatropous. Now, if you compare the second one and the third one, it is called as anatropous ovule, and this is also anatropous ovule. That means it is also inverted ovule. But this inversion that occurs hemi. What is the meaning of hemi? That is half. That means anatropous ovule means that is 180 degrees, and hemianatropous ovule means that is half of the anatropous. That means half of 180, that is nothing but 90. So that is the reason why this hemianatropous ovule is also called as 90 degrees ovule. 90 degrees ovule, right? And if you observe the diagram, it appears like this. See, this is the body of the ovule. This is the microbial. So hemianatropous ovules, it appears like this. That means here it is the microbial, and this is called the chalaza. That means microbial and chalaza, they are produced like this. That means here actually this is the orthotropous condition, and in case of anatropous condition, the diagram is like this. That means microbial, it rotates to 180 degrees. That means it is complete inversion takes place. And in the third condition, microbial is generally present in the orthotropous condition like this, and if it rotates through 90 degrees, that means it appears like this. That means not complete 180 degrees, but only half of the 180 degrees, that means 90 degrees. So in this way, if you observe the hemianatropous ovule, it appears like this. That means this is the stalk of the ovule, that means the funicle, that is always standard, and upon which the body of the ovule is placed like this. That means suppose if it is the body of the ovule, suppose this is the funicle and this is the body of the ovule. So in this way, if you observe the diagram that appears in the form of an English alphabet T, so this is also called as T-shaped ovule. That is also called as a T-shaped ovule. So if you observe that position of the body of the ovule and the funicle that resembles the English alphabet T, so it is also called as T-shaped ovule. So hemianatropous ovule, that is also called as the 90 degrees ovule, because the orientation is only half of the anatropous. That means half of 180, that is 90 degrees. So it is also called as the 90 degrees ovule, and the body of the ovule is placed in the funicle in such a way that that appears in the form of English alphabet T. So it is called as T-shaped ovule. So that is the hemianatropous third condition that is found in case of a family that is called as the Ranunculaceae, and example is the Ranunculus. So that is the third condition. So this is second type of ovule, and this is third type of ovule, right? Now we will see the fourth type of ovule. That is called as Campylotropous. Campylotropous ovule, that is found in an example that is called Leguminaceae. So Leguminaceae is one of the family where you can find the presence of different types of pulses like black gram, green gram, or red gram. So different types of pulses are there. Next, the groundnut is there. So all these examples, they belongs to that family, Leguminosae family. That is the one of the important family where you can find the presence of Campylotropous ovule. Campylotropous. What is the meaning of Campylotropous? Campylotropous is otherwise called as the curved ovule. Campylotropous is also called as the curved ovule. Curved, that means certain curve appears in the body of the ovule, so that is called the curved ovule. So what is that curve? Means see, so that is the curvature. So here what happens? This is nothing but the hemianatropous ovule. Of course, here microbial is produced that side, and here it is produced in this direction. But whatever it may be, the degree of curvature is only 90 degrees. Both are same. But here what happens? Body of the ovule is having the same shape. That means there is no change occurs in the shape of the body of the ovule. But here the body of the ovule that is curved. That means that curves in the form of horseshoe. Suppose if you observe the horseshoe, it appears like this. In this way, this is the shape of the horseshoe. In the same way, here the body of the ovule that is curved, so that is called as the Campylotropous ovule. But here one more point you have to remember, that is even though body of the ovule is curved, internally in the body of the ovule it consists of embryo sac. Here this is the embryo sac, but this embryo sac is straight. That means that do not curves. Only body of the ovule is curved, but not the embryo sac in case of Campylotropous. So here curving of the body of the ovule takes place. So it is also called as the curved ovule. Curved ovule, right? So this is the fourth type, and in the fifth type, that is called as Amphitropous. That is called as Amphitropous. So this Amphitropous ovule that is found generally in two examples. One is called as Erismaceae, and the second one is called as Butamaceae. Erismaceae and Butamaceae. These are the two families where you can find the presence of Amphitropous. So here what is the meaning of Amphitropous? So here you see tropos means orientation, and second one is amphi. Amphi means both. Amphi means both. So here what happens? The body of the ovule is curved like a horseshoe. Along with that, internally, what is the structure that is present? That is the embryo sac. If embryo sac also curves like a horseshoe along with the body of the ovule, then that condition is called as Amphitropous. So what is the meaning of Amphi? Amphi means both. That means both the structures. What are those structures? First one is body of the ovule, and second one is the internal embryo sac. If both the structures they are curved like horseshoe-like structure, then that is called as Amphitropous. That is found in case of Erismaceae and Butamaceae. And the last type that is called as the Circinotropous. That is called as Circinotropous ovules. This is generally found in an desert plant that is called as Opuntia. That is called Opuntia. So what is the meaning of this Circinotropous ovule? So this is body of the ovule. So this is the Cyrcinotropous ovule. Example is the Opuntia. So here what happens? This is the funicle. Here in this case the funicle is very large. Funicle is very large. So this funicle that totally covers the body of the ovule. That means almost 70 to 80% of the body of the ovule is covered by the funicle. And remaining points are same. That means this is the micropyle and this is the chalaza, just like that of Arthropus ovule. But here orientation of the body of the ovule do not take place, but only the funicle is very large and that totally covers the body of the ovule. That means nearly 80% of the body of the ovule is completely covered and protected by the funicle. So that type of ovule is called as Cyrcinotropous ovule. So that condition is found in case of Opuntia. So these are the different types of ovules. So these different types of ovules that is based on the orientation of the body of the ovule on the funicle. So in this way, this is the last topic in the female reproductive part, and in the only one topic is left, that is fertilization. So regarding the fertilization we will discuss in the next video. So these types of ovules is generally a 4 marks question. So this is an important question, so read well. And in the next video we will discuss regarding the fertilization process. So with that, that embryology topic will be completed. Okay, thank you.